Bromism. This is for the people at home. Will is going to want to dive in, but he won't be allowed. Is Bromism a program run by muscular evangelical Christians who specialise in gay conversion therapy? Is Bromism a condition brought on by intense or long-term consumption of bromine? Or is it a recently acknowledged psychiatric syndrome that's particularly associated with Silicon Valley hypermasculine tech bros? I won't keep you waiting. I know you probably guessed, Will, but I'm not going to listen to you. It's B. It's a condition brought about by intense or long-term consumption of bromine. Most likely from consuming bromine salts, sodium bromide. But to be fair, the story does also have a strong link with the tech bros right now, so it's got a lot to do also, in this case, with A, but not very, I.
It's time for a little bit of science.
That much.
I'm Will Grant, an Associate Professor in Science Communication from the Australian National University.
I'm Rod Lamberts, a 30-year psychom veteran, or close enough, with the mind of a teenage boy.
And today, what have we got for you? I've got a giant oopsie.
I've got a self-defense penis.
Oh. I've got some super engineering.
And I've got a little story from our pragmatic Scandinavian siblings.
So
Bromism.
Bromism.
Yes, it is not about evangelical muscular Christians specialising in gay conversion or Silicon Valley hyperbros. Mm. So it's a condition brought about by intense or long-term consumption of bromine. Don't.
I don't often go to the supermarket and pick up a bucket of bromine.
Bring your own bucket.
Do you put it on your cornflakes, or is this?
I think you could put it wherever you want. I mean, it can. Yeah.
I thought you were saying you can't.
No, you can. You just probably shouldn't. I mean, it's consumable.
Okay.
I'll give you a little background just before we get into
just because something is consumable.
Well, sure.
Does not mean
like glass,
knives,
nuclear energy,
aeroplanes.
Aeroplanes are consumable. Didn't a dude do that?
Yes, he did. Of course, he did. You know, he did.
Was it a whole plane?
He was a Frenchman. He
was being the operative.
He was big on bicycles, but plane was his.
And a small car. I remember him eating a small car. He'd grind stuff, the stuff that was too big to chew, he'd grind into filings and
which is cheating. Which is cheating.
It's also terrible.
It's a weird thing to cheat at.
Idea.
I'm really like cheating on your homework. One thing, cheating at eating an airplane by.
Who calls it cheating? Like, that's not how you eat an airplane, you son of a bitch.
I eat it the proper way.
Exactly. Fucking was. Anyway, Bromism, though, that particular one. Bromine was discovered by a French guy, Antoine Jérôme Ballade. Mm-hmm. Do you know what year? Guess, go on. You're good at numbers.
1915.
You're terrible at numbers.
Oh.
1826.
Close
enough.
I had a good run.
Margin of error. And, of course, the moment he discovered that in bromine salts, there was, of course, an entire craze about it from the 1800s through the 1900s.
Craze?
Like, consume them for everything. They're good for warts, impure thoughts, shortness, you name it.
Yeah.
Disproportionately different ear holes, everything. Take it for that. So they use it treatments for things like headaches, stomach aches, general malaise.
Yeah, well, I take that from
malaise. Yeah, I'm feeling a little malaise-ish. Can I have some bromine salts? But it actually did have some effects, like medicinal, at least therapeutic. It's apparently a powerful anticonvulsant. Mm. So if you find yourself convulsing, get your bromide salts.
I might.
Good. Sedative properties. It has sedative properties.
Good.
So that's probably related, really. Stop you convulsing.
Is it better than some of the other sedatives?
No, God, no. Okay. Everything else is better. It is now, anyway. And veterinarians still apparently prescribe it for epileptic dogs, so it is of some use today.
Okay.
Yeah. Problem was, when people would eat it.
What are you saying when you eat it? Like, are we just sprinkling it on food? Or like
this is my obsession.
Or is this like a soap cake sized block of salt that we're just
They've got to swallow whole.
Wow.
Otherwise, where's the fun?
Like, what are they doing?
Wasn't clear. Like, it sounds like one of those classic things where if it's like other salts, it can, form into small, sprinkle bits and then put it in things. Okay. And if it's anything, I know a lot about the 18 and 1900s, and when in doubt, put it in an elixir of something and obviously add morphine.
I think elixirs are from fantasy novels, not the 18 and 1900s.
It can be both.
No.
A lot of fantasies are set in that period. So, yeah, if you consume it, it builds up.
Okay.
You get toxic levels of bromine leading to bromism,
What happens with bromism?
I'm not going to tell you. That's the end of my story.
Oh, come on.
It's a neuropsychiatric disorder. Symptoms of confusion, slurred speech, hallucinations, psychosis. Sometimes you can drop into a coma.
Oh, okay. Well, some of those sound all right.
A nice quiet coma.
Not the coma.
Slurred speech.
I don't mind that.
Yeah, I know. I don't know how you get that otherwise. It's only bromine salts. But yeah, very much related to psychiatric disorders. So around the turn of the 20th century, they reckon something like 8% of psychiatric admissions were due to bromism.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it was that freaking popular. So I've eaten too much bromine, I'm hallucinating, I'm comatose, I'm confused, I'm slurring my speech. Have you had any salts? So eventually, at least in the US, the EPA started to regulate it around the 70s. So it's still, I think, or at least at that point, used in pesticides and pool and hot tub cleaners.
I love my both pesticide and medicine category.
Exactly. So anyway, once they regulated it, bromism cases from the 70s started to plummet, which is good.
Great. Thanks, regulation.
So then, a month ago.
A month ago.
Mm-hmm. In fact, well, it was reported earlier this month, August 2025, for those of you listening in the future. A new paper published in the Annals of Internal Medicine described a 60-year-old man who ended up coming down with an all but defunct condition known as bromism. How, I see you ask?
Well, he ate some bromine, obviously.
Yeah, but why?
Well, no, you said how.
Yeah, I did. That's true. How? He ate some bromine. Thanks, William. This is where AI comes in.
What?
This is where AI comes in. I told you it did link to Silicon Valley. So apparently, after his bromine-induced psychosis backed off, he said, look, he was worried about his salt intake. He needed health advice. So he went to ChatGPT and said, what's a good alternative for sodium chloride? So it said, what about sodium bromide?
Well, what about
That's a salt. He says, sure, and starts eating it. Well, it's true. It is a salt. And so in the article I was mainly reading about this, obviously see our show notes for sources, apparently they report on 404 Media, they tried to basically replicate the conversations with ChatGPT to ask various questions about sodium chloride, sodium bromide, etc. When it was asked, for instance, what can chloride be replaced with? ChatGPT said, you can often substitute it with other halide ions such as sodium bromide, replacing chloride with bromide. The chatbot did not ask for further context.
No, why would you ask for further context?
No.
It is technically possible to replace it.
Which is true.
Like it is technically possible to replace...
This is a salt.
Well, depending on your definition and your context, you can replace one thing with anything.
Yes, you can.
With anything.
You can.
Like if you were just...
An elephant or a packet of, I don't know, gravel. Like, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, if you're a random, word association machine and you're just looking for the next clearest... You can replace whatever you want if you don't care.
At least it went with salts. Like, I want to replace it. What if it had focused in on the texture instead, for example?
Yeah, exactly. All right.
So small bits of dirt.
Or on the keeping people aliveness.
Yeah, didn't focus on that.
No.
Didn't focus on that.
No.
And also didn't, ask any follow-up questions, think about context, or offer any warnings about sodium bromide. It also apparently didn't seem to know the main reason people use sodium chloride is to eat.
Yes, of course.
Because context, apparently,
also,
that's not good at.
That would actually be out there on the internet.
You would think in one or two places.
One or two.
Low-salt diet, for example, doesn't mean replace it with bats or eat gravel or just look for a similarly chemical compound.
Any other chemical salt.
Yeah, any salt. Just any salt.
I think there are uranium salts.
I was going to say plutonium or something.
There are definitely plutonium and uranium salts.
It probably didn't go with those because they'd be more expensive.
Yeah, well, what's it taking money into account? No way
don't
AI
know.
takes money into account. It's the most expensive, stupid thing there ever is.
It might be. But you don't have to worry because as you probably read this yourself recently, ChatGPT 5, Sam Altman tells us, is going to be really good with medical stuff. So obviously they'll fix that.
The Chesterfield Canal runs for about 73 kilometres between Chesterfield and West Stockwith in northern England.
So why is it not called the Stockwith Canal or the Chesterfield Stockwith Canal?
They had a fight and Chesterfield won.
They did.
Or maybe they were going to Chesterfield or they were from Chesterfield. I don't know. It is one of the earliest canals in the country.
Okay.
It opened on the 4th of June, 1777, and it had Well, it still has, but at the time it was one of the longest canal tunnels in the country.
Tunnel?
Yeah, a tunnel.
An underground canal?
Well, no, you're going through a hill or something like that. You take your river through a hill.
But you take the top of the hill out as well, right?
No.
You just split the hill in half.
You make a tunnel. A tunnel is a hole, not a splitting in half.
I never thought of canals like...
Hang on, I'll finish that.
Going in tunnels.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it was 1 3/4 miles.
Doesn't that make it a drain?
Well, you wait.
Tube?
You wait. 1 3/4 miles going through the tunnel.
Yeah.
And because canal speed is not super speed, it's like leisurely speed. Anyway, they had
like 0.001% the speed of light.
A lot more 0.00s in it than that. You're a horse and dray, or whatever a team of school children can pull a boat at.
The British schoolchildren are renowned for their weakness.
But anyway, they had a brass band on the opening.
Of course they did.
This is 1777. That's what they love doing. So they got a canal boat with a brass band, and apparently it took an hour to go through the tunnel. And there's
just how like 1 point something.
1 3/4 miles. So
and an hour of playing your brass
through a tunnel. With no audience, but just keep going. Anyway, I don't know if that's true. I know they had the brass band. They might have stopped, but...
Did you ever play a trumpet for a solid hour?
Solid hour?
Solid hour. On water?
No.
Underground?
No, I didn't.
300 years ago?
Anyway, the canal was built to export coal and limestone and lead from Derbyshire and iron from Chesterfield. It's famous because the stone that made the Palace of Westminster, the Houses of Parliament, was quarried there and carried down the canal.
Okay.
But those are the boring facts, because the canal is actually way more famous because of the most awesome 1970s photo in existence. Is
that the one with Farrah Fawcett? Majors?
Okay, there may be some other awesome 1970s.
The tennis girl.
So the photos of a guy named Bill Thorpe. And
Billy Thorpe.
Bill Thorpe. Okay, he's got a beautiful blonde 70s mullet with a great fringe cut straight
really
across the side. He's got a deep V-neck T-shirt. He has got these Wellington gumboots that are sort of flared out in like...
Yeah, they come out at the top.
If you'd have said, what do gumboots look like in the 70s? You'd go, well, obviously
there's
they're
a
wilder.
big gap at the top to be able to gather all the flared pants into.
But what he's got in his hand is a giant chain with a giant lump of wood on it. So a dredger gang was trying to stabilise a section of concrete wall in the 1970s in the Chesterfield Canal.
Yeah, okay.
And, it's a 200-year-old canal. There's work that needs to happen on it. And so what they need to do is put in some shutter boards which go down there, and then
to block the water.
Okay. And then you put some concrete in. But there was a whole bunch of junk in the canal. They're pulling out bicycles, they're pulling out fridges, prams, all sorts of things.
Okay.
And then they ran across this giant length of chain, and they're like, what's that about? All right. Mm-hmm. So they tried to pull it out, and it was kind of stuck.
Yank the chain?
Well, it was kind of stuck. And so they were like, I'll hook it up to a car, because it's the 70s. And
don't investigate further, just pull it harder.
The car couldn't pull it out. So
I love that. Just pull harder. Don't find out why. Just fucking pull harder.
No.
Add horsepower in whatever form you can find.
Car couldn't pull it out, so they got the dredger, which is, it's an excavator basically on a boat. So they hooked it on that and yanked it, and up comes the chain. Hoo! Yeah, we got it out. There was a weird block of wood on the end of the chain that old Bill is holding here. Impressed with their work, as they would be, they knocked off for tea.
I've got to calm the nerves here, fair enough.
But while they were on break, a passing police officer noticed an extraordinary whirlpool in the normally placid canal.
Did he crouch up and down 3 times and say, what's all this then?
Hello?
What's
Hello? What's this then?
This seems highly irregular. I'm a little worried.
And I don't know if you've seen English canal. They're not. The water is not like a river. It's like
no. It sits there.
It
lurks.
Yeah, and suddenly there's an unusual whirlpool. He rushed off to find the dredging gang, but by the time they had all returned, the canal had disappeared.
Cool. Sinkhole.
Sucked down the plug hole.
It was a plug.
It was a plug in the canal. They had the smart engineers from 200 years ago had made a whole series of plugs in the canal. So if you needed to drain it, you could pull them out. But no one knew this anymore.
So had they dug like basins or cisterns underneath the canal, or they were natural?
Drained down to the river. So there's a river nearby, and they'd made some channels that you could just unplug the canal, and no one knew that this existed.
But they didn't write that in the Doomsday Book or something. Okay.
So they lost all of the water, took some great photos of Bill Thorpe holding the plug for the canal. The canal is drained completely down to the ground.
Plug.
A literal plug in the canal.
That's superb.
10 years later, there was a British Waterways put on a festival to celebrate the event of the accidental unplugging of the Chesterfield Canal.
The grand unplugging.
But in seeing this photo, I was just so happy. And I thought, you know what? For my stories this week, I just wanted to tell you some weird river stories, some weird things that have happened over the time with water. There's a line in the Killers' song, Spaceman. It's a great song. It's a great song.
The Killers?
Yeah, the Killers. They're a great band. They play a great thing called music.
It's a very aggressive name for Mormons.
Yeah, it is very aggressive. But it's a line that says, they say the Nile used to run from east to west. And I was like, yeah.
Like most rivers, it changes its mind occasionally.
It changes its mind. Well, let's just wait a second, because you will see some things.
Okay.
There is a theory. The ancient Greeks, they had a theory that once upon a time, and there are maps that indicate this, that the Nile started over in the Sahara, over in like Morocco, and sort of travelled across the Sahara and then curved into Egypt. And now we know it's much more of a north-south journey.
Thank you for giving me that, because I didn't know.
Your geography?
I didn't know it did that.
You were
anyway.
like east-west, and like
the Nile,
which one is this?
The Nile's near Africa?
It's not true. It's not true. Like the Nile...
It isn't near Africa.
The Nile is definitely in Africa, has always been in Africa. That is a guaranteed fact about the Nile.
Not in South America. Okay.
It never did run from east to west. It may have had a slightly different course.
Well, sure, rivers diverge.
Yeah.
The landscape changes.
Yeah, it once might have popped out of not Egypt, popped out at Libya. When the Mediterranean was basically not there, it was a lot lower, popped out a lot different.
Yeah, okay.
But I thought that was a place where I was like, I wanted to know, did it run east to west? Sadly, no. Might have been a bit different, but But there are other rivers that have completely flipped around.
Change course.
Flipped.
Literally.
Flipped.
Aliens.
So the Colorado River right now runs from north to south.
Yeah.
Goes through that fantastic canyon thing they've got. I can't remember the name of it.
What is it? The minuscule canyon.
I think that's what they call it.
The almost unnoticeable canyon.
The unnoticeable canyon. The detectable canyon.
Yeah, that's it. The small dent in the landscape.
But it runs north to south, goes through all of them deserty states in that bit of America, and pops out in the Gulf of Mexico. But a few million years ago, it used to go the other way. It used to go. But how?
Doesn't that mean it ran from the ocean inland?
Well, not necessarily from the ocean, but definitely there was a river in the same spot. It's called the California River, they call it, rather than the Colorado River.
Okay.
I don't know why. But this is talking a long time ago. This is like 55 million years ago when the Rockies didn't exist. So basically what happened is the Rockies weren't there, and so the river was heading in the northern direction. Mountains pop up, and then the whole thing tilts, and the river goes back the other way.
But to or from the ocean? To or from?
But look. I think this is just a nice thing to recognise that bits of the earth have sculpted water, and sometimes you tilt them with plate tectonics and your mountains and things like that, and they can change your directions. You can go up, you can go down.
Usually not while you're on them, thank God.
But if nature does it, it's boring and normal.
Thank you. Please bring in nuclear bombs.
Oh yeah!
Come on.
Like boring and normal. Because that's what happens. Like plates shift, rivers move.
Nature being nature.
Erosion happens.
Yeah.
No. I got two stories of river reversal. Okay. One sadly, is ambitious, bold, furious.
What's sad about that?
Well, it's too ambitious. But maybe it will still come.
Yeah. Elon Musk or Jeff Bezos need to get onto it, is what I'm hearing.
No, there's another guy that would be more likely.
Peter Thiel.
No, in the world of global bad guys,
Yeah.
sorry to all of you listeners, but, it's similar but different.
Mm-hmm.
The Soviets and their Russian predecessors have long had a plan
This is starting well.
to fix those useless rivers that drain into the Arctic Ocean.
You piece of shit, garbage, bullshit water carriers. You do nothing for me, nothing.
So there's a bunch of rivers that flow north, some
Yeah.
through Siberia, some through the Urals sort of area
Yeah,
in
yeah,
Russia.
yeah.
But they go north and they pop up into the Arctic Ocean.
We can't use that.
Who can use that water up
one.
there?
No one.
So since as far back as the 1830s, the Tsars have been interested in thinking about this. But what did they have? They had peasant labour.
Let's not poo-poo that. That's quite a few people.
No, indeed.
That's a lot of horsepower.
No, indeed. But peasant labour ain't enough to solve some of these problems.
Right, okay.
But it's the Soviets who really said, what we've got here is rivers that are wasting all their water going into the Arctic.
Pointless.
When we could pump them back down to Central Asia, and it could grow food for 200 million people.
At least.
Yeah. They started really thinking, and actually the other thing they said is it can also replenish the shrinking Aral Sea and the Caspian Sea, which it always blown my mind that of the giant lakes in the world, the Aral Sea was huge back in the 30s and 40s.
Yeah.
I don't know what the comparison size. It's probably an American state size.
How many Sydney harbours?
Oh, it's many Sydney harbours.
Olympic swimming pools?
Many, many, many Olympic swimming pools.
Okay.
But it shrank. It disappeared. Like this giant inland lake just disappeared.
Did someone pull the plug?
Well, someone did pull. I think it was Soviet agriculture pulled the plug.
Oh, imagine that.
But they said, if we turn the rivers back, we can fix that environmental problem.
So what we're going to do, right,
look.
is just turn the rivers around. I've got it.
1933, they first really started thinking about it. The Soviet Academy of Sciences approved a plan for the reconstruction of the Volga and its basin. We just reconstruct the river and its basin.
This is me as a child solving world hunger and everything else. What we need to do is fix it.
So we just turn the rivers around.
Fix it.
Like it's just like you get the indicator on in your car.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Instead of going that way.
So is this happening too slowly? I got an idea. Make it faster.
So they were going to divert the Volga River and some of the waters of the Pechora and the northern Dvina.
Yeah.
They flow into the Arctic, but they wanted to turn them around.
Sure.
Stalin wasn't super keen. He was like, "We got other shit to do. We got gulags, killing the kulaks, and we've got World War II." So
He's a busy man.
Things didn't really go until the 60s when the Soviets under Khrushchev said, we can actually probably do this. And so in the 60s, the Soviets really, really got into this plan. They had a whole bunch of impact studies, which is interesting. Like I don't associate impact studies with the Soviet Union.
You go to impact study. By that I mean hit people till they agree with me.
Like I feel like the number of environmental impact assessments done in the Soviet Union was low.
Was that environmental impact? Da. Okay, moving on. Divert river.
Reports
Make
submitted.
river backwards. Hurry.
So they started. They started work to divert the Pechora River into the Kama River. You don't need to know that, but and head towards the Caspian Sea instead of up to the Arctic.
Prince Caspian.
So they got a bunch of nuclear weapons, and
I'm so happy right now.
so they started.
So we nuke him. This gets better.
So the earthworks were started using 3 15-kiloton nuclear explosions.
Oh, so they started light. Yeah, okay.
Explosions for the national economy.
Yep.
They were only spaced 165 meters apart.
Isn't that the same as being on top of each other in terms of 15 kiloton explosives?
I think roughly, like it's.
What's the separation for?
15 kilotons is not as big as Hiroshima. It's 3/4 of a Hiroshima bomb. So it's
unambitious.
I guess it's your earthworks sized nuclear.
it's more your practical, your day-to-day tradesman kind of thing. But a few meters apart.
So they reckon there wasn't any radioactive fallout, and
Of course they reckon that, yep.
And they were keen to keep going, but I think their calculations said. Now I don't know why they stopped at this point. Well, there's a couple of things. Let's guess which one it could have been. It could be that they estimated it would have taken 250 more nuclear detonations to complete the levelling of the channel that they needed. The Americans said, actually, it's pretty safe and economical at the time. Well, it could have been, and I don't know about this, they were worried that there was less, that it might have contributed to a runaway global warming by having less water in the Arctic, and so the Arctic doesn't freeze.
Okay, well, we can rule that one out.
But
sadly,
the Soviets didn't get any further with their nuclear engineering to turn the river around. But Central Asian states are still super keen on it. They're still super keen to capture that wasted water. And I wouldn't be surprised if one day there is a plan to actually pump the water back.
Look, capturing wasted water is one utterance.
Yep.
Nuclear engineering is another.
It's beautiful.
Putting the two together gives me the questions.
It's beautiful. It's why would God have given these things?
That's a good point. Like, Jesus gave us both. Let's bang these buggers together and see what happens.
I told you years ago about the peaceful use of nuclear weapons. And I've just got to, every time I think about it, it's just like there was that era in the 50s, 60s, and 70s, like just solve the problem with a big...
Just fucking blow it up. It's Donald Trump and tornadoes.
But there is one river that has successfully been turned around.
Is it the Murray-Darling in Australia?
No, it is. Well, no, we've just drained that. We just stopped it.
Goodra-Digby.
The Goodra-Digby?
The Goodra-Digby, it flows through Wee Jasper, which is a small town on the outskirts of Canberra. And it was when I was a teenager, we went there for a camp, and they said, you can drink this water straight from the stream. And I thought, no. And I remember...
You can drink any water straight from the stream.
Without dying or getting dysentery. And the beauty of this one was I remember sitting, like lying in this river on a hot summer's day up to my mouth and just drinking the water and thinking... This is so decadent. I didn't know the word decadent then, but now I realise in retrospect it was decadent.
I'm drinking my bathwater, basically.
I'm drinking my swimming pool, and it's okay. Anyway, none of those.
No, it was the Americans.
Of course.
They're the only ones that we have that have successfully reversed a river. When it followed its natural course, the Chicago River would sort of do this weird convergence thing. The northern branch would come down south, and the southern branch would come north and come through where Chicago is and pop out in a little combined channel.
I thought there's a weird little whirlpool or something.
A weird little thing, and then it pops out in Lake Michigan. Yeah, you can see what it's doing. Yeah, it's draining from each side and going out there.
And as a quick aside, my fucking God, the Great Lakes are big.
They are great.
There's a reason they're called great.
They are great.
They are humongous.
Love them. They're my favourite of the lakes that I haven't seen.
The lake's great.
Yeah, they're good. They're a good sized lake. I feel like that's appropriate. It's appropriate. Now, when Europeans first arrived in Chicago, they noted that...
Invited to be there.
Well, something like that. They noted that the river, it flowed sluggishly into Lake Michigan. And pretty quickly, you can guess what they started doing into the river.
Did it involve everything that comes out of people?
Everything that comes out of people and industry and anything else that you can imagine. As I've told you in the past about how gross rivers can get and how gross they did get in the early 20th century.
We've got all this stuff. What are we going to do with it? Well, there's a river over there.
The problem for Chicago was that all of the shit and cow carcasses and industrial pollution and everything else that was flowing from their city into Lake Michigan, but Lake Michigan was their drinking water. And so so they're like, we're dumping all of our shit into our drinking water. So what we actually need to do
is nuke it.
They were pre-nukes. Back in this. This is 1900 basically.
Okay.
So this is early 20th century, late 19th century. They're like, you know what we could do is, rather than pumping our shit into the drinking supply, we could turn our river around and pump it out to the Mississippi, and then it flows down through all of those other people, and we don't need to worry about it.
Fuck them. They're full of people who are slightly differently tinted to us.
So, in what has been described by the American Society of Civil Engineers as a civil engineering monument of the millennium...
Civil is doing a lot of heavy lifting here.
they turned around the Chicago River.
Wow.
So instead of dumping out at Lake Michigan, they took water from Lake Michigan, pushed it back through Chicago, pushed it back over like some little levees that were created in the Ice Age millions of years before, and pushed it into the Mississippi, and all the gross no longer became their problem. It was called the Chicago Sanitary and Ship Canal. You could put ships down it too. But I love that you've got this sanitary canal. It sucks water from Lake Michigan, pushes it into the Mississippi. So they take...
Wild.
They're allowed to remove 3,200 cubic feet per second of water from the Great Lakes and pump it in that direction.
Oh, so it's constantly... It requires energy to constantly...
It requires energy
So it's basically a big pool filter pump.
There's engineering work that's
thing.
allowed the water to flow after that, but there is a pumping system.
It's basically a little aquarium on a grand scale.
Yeah, I
didn't realise. So that's the bit that I wasn't aware of. We still need to, pump it. I feel like that matters.
Look, Chicago itself is still a tiny bit above Lake Michigan. Like that's inherent. So the water would want to go that way, but what they've done is put a little barrage there. Push water back the other way. I don't know.
It's a miracle.
It's a miracle. So there you go, turning the rivers around.
Self-defense penis. AKA fun with animals. AKA, wow, I'm glad I'm not a spider. So recently, 4 new subspecies of tarantula were discovered in the Arabian Peninsula and around the Horn of Africa.
Of what? Tarantula?
Yep, tarantula.
I'm guessing this is more of an identification thing. Like it was the slightly reddish tarantula and the slightly greenish tarantula, not... We've never seen these giant spiders before, because I imagine
it's bigger than my dog.
You notice these things.
Yeah, look, there was a thing that made them distinct. So they were so distinct, these 4 subspecies formed their own genus. So, yeah, this Satyrex subgenus, they're named after satyrs, obviously, because they have colossal spider dongs, like colossal dongs. Sorry, I mean the longest palps. So the palps is the name of the reproductive appendages
that spiders have
that are used for mating.
The male?
The male. The women don't have as many penises as the...
I don't know. I don't know because they are not mammals.
No, good for you.
You never know what they truck with in the other parts of the animal
kingdom. Very open-minded of you. Very open-minded.
I don't know.
I appreciate that.
I know mushrooms are sex organs too. And
mushrooms are sex organs?
Yes.
Ooh, I eat more sex organs than I realised.
You definitely do.
I had a great pie with chock full of sex organs the other night. It was delicious. And meat.
It would sell very well, sex organ pie.
No, it wouldn't. It depends where. Imagine the local markets. You can have cauliflower, you can have beef, there's venison, there's something with spinach, or sex organ pie. And you're like, I don't want that one.
But no, you see. Wait and see.
Dick pie.
There would be a bunch of people who are like, I'll take the sex organ pie.
Anyway, so they have huge peni. So, for example, the Satyrex ferox, one of the 4, its palps measured up to 5 centimetres long. Now, you and I are going, whatever, ours are at least 6. But that is almost 4 times the length of the head and thorax combined.
Yeah, okay.
We're not talking a little impressive. We're talking...
They've spent a bit of time on this.
Yeah, I'm thinking verging on impediment here.
What percentage of the body length is this?
Well, you think of the head and the thorax of a spider.
Yeah.
The thorax is basically...
So we're not counting legs here?
No.
How do you measure a spider? Like generally, how do you... What is the unit?
Well, the unit of spider?
No, but like
a sinister.
Are you head to tail, or are you toe to toe, or are you toe to toe you spread them out on a circle? That's what you do.
Yeah, squash them flat and measure the diameter.
Yeah, it's a diameter-based system.
Spiders are diameter. So this one, so if you take basically everything that is in its legs, up to 4 times the length of that. Now, in human terms, at least as far as I'm concerned, that means about 19 metres.
Oh, exactly.
Obviously.
Yeah.
So basically, its ding-dong is at nearly as long as its longest leg.
It seems evolutionary.
And we've all suffered that way.
But it seems unnecessary.
Yeah. So one source quoted from the University of Turku, she says, look, the species is highly defensive. So they're, a little jangly, a little bit edgy. At the slightest disturbance, they'll raise their front legs in a threat posture and produce a loud hissing sound, which made me go, what the fuck? But they do it by rubbing specialised hairs on parts of their front legs together, so it makes this noise. Also, their extremely aggressive defence behaviour is observed, particularly in females. So the females, as happens in a lot of species, large and angry. So basically, they suspect the huge member facilitates copulation while minimising the risk of cannibalism.
So it keeps a distance.
Yeah, bang them from a distance and probably not get eaten after you've done the business.
So it's like in like those terrible Japanese manga, you know, or Otsukadoji or something like that.
And I mean, look, I can show you a
terrible
picture.
hentai thing.
The pictures don't make a lot of sense because they're weird bent sort of arm-looking things.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't necessarily recognise that as
as a penis,
as an expert on such things.
You're not a big expert.
But it's nice
that
they've got hinges. Like
they do. I mean, again, I couldn't put it actually on the internet, but they have 2 elbows.
I do like when your diagram is here's our collection of spider penis.
Spinodongs.
Yeah, like here's our 6 of them that we got. They range from F, which is,
tiny, modest,
fine,
modest.
It depends what you do with it.
Small but perfectly formed.
It definitely depends what you do with it.
Yeah.
Up to C, which is
see this.
That's for coming from another city.
Did you notice that all of them have
You missed it.
I heard what you said. I'm not going to grace you with an acknowledgement of my kind of joke. That's just terrible. We have no more demarcation anymore. You could, with that biggest one, you could. And each of them has sort of a kind of like a scorpion's tip on one end, which is...
Nature is unkind.
But at least, I just love the idea that, you wander up and you go like, is it on, sweetheart? And she says yes. And you say, cool, I'm going to go over behind that tree.
Yeah, I'm behind the couch.
I'm going to put a bunch of stand bags in front of me.
Don't eat me. Don't eat me.
I'm going to do you remotely. Well done, Satirex. So I have a feeling that Alex maybe have something to tell us.
Oh, my God.
What do you reckon? Because we ignored Alex last episode, and I feel like a horrible little man, and I've been thinking about this every hour since.
I hope you couldn't sleep this whole week.
I couldn't, because I watched your little face fall after we stopped recording, and you looked at us and you forgot me, and I thought, we're fucking monsters, because we did. And also, your stories are good, so hi, Alex, and for people listening at home or watching on Tooch, Alex is our producer, and thank God he is.
And if you're on Twitch, he's hidden. He's in another window.
He's the voice from above.
That's right. Thanks for the introduction. You'll be sad you missed out on this last week because you've gone all week without knowing about mammalian enteral ventilation.
Sounds a little sexy.
Yeah, it's a little bit.
Ventilation.
Whenever I enterally ventilate, I feel relieved at least, if not actually pleasured.
I think you might.
And I am a mammal.
Yeah. As you might understand from the wording, it's breathing through your butthole.
Well,
we've all been there. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So a team of researchers in Japan, University of Tokyo, they looked at some sea creatures like flukes and some of these other crazy things you've never heard of, and saw that during times of hypoxia, they could actually recruit this additional body part for ventilation to breathe.
What you mean is extra breathing holes.
Extra breathing holes. Yeah.
So they thought, you know what?
Recruit. I can't breathe well. I'm going to recruit my other orifice.
I'll enlist the butthole.
I've got all these extra holes, and then they're doing nothing for me right now.
Useless holes.
Well, not so useless. And then they thought, well, can mammals do it? Crazy sea creatures with highly evolved, breathing apparatus. Then, why can't mammals do it? So they thought, let's figure it out. So they got these poor mice and pigs, and they, induced. Oh,
Continue.
well.
I have ethical questions instantly.
Because what's the gain from this research?
Indeed.
And at the expense of many animal lives. So they induced hypoxia. So they basically took control of the breathing by putting them in a coma and putting a little tiny breathing tube in their trachea and dropped the oxygen level right down.
Yep.
And then at the bottom end, they put a tube into the back passage and then started pumping this solution, this liquid solution with a very, very high oxygen content into the rectum. So what they found is that they're looking at respiratory failure. So at what point do your lungs fail to oxygenate your body enough to keep you alive? And they had the control mice, which all across the board just died because they just cut off the oxygen. So that was a useful control, but science. And then it's
not a control group, is it? What if we murder some mice as well as do the experiment?
And in the experimental group, with this liquid infusion of oxygen up the back passage, they were able to stave off type 1 respiratory failure, so body failing due to lack of oxygen, for a statistically significant amount of time.
So
and
1
they
minute
found
versus 2 minutes?
Statistically significant, the actual numbers are relevant. And they found that the actual transfer of the oxygen was better if they abraded the butthole with a small skewer type object to disrupt the lining.
So
that
by
there was
abraded,
better...
you mean offer access to more blood supply?
Oh, my God.
Well, they just got this kind of like pipe cleaner type thing and just went up there and backwards and forwards to...
So does abrade mean cut shit?
Yeah, abrade, just disrupt the surface.
So cut shit.
Cut shit, yeah.
I'm in. I'll give it a crack.
On you?
Yeah?
Yeah, fine. Do it to yourself.
I'm not at all scared about drowning or being buried alive. It's all fine with me.
But you'll have your butthole abraded for...
I've had my butthole abraded by medical practitioners,
Well-
and you know what? I'm still alive to tell the story.
While they hold your nose?
No, well, they helped me. I was on drugs. Some of them medically endorsed.
I am not sure this is a necessary study.
I think it is.
And the result?
Just trying to... And the result, they were able to demonstrate that in a mammal, they could actually prolong the time to death by hypoxia by pumping oxygen in your
Prolong the
blood.
time to death is not quite an endorsement.
No, it is. It is. And you know what it also does to me? What I'm thinking is, I did the St. John's ambulance course to do first aid years ago. What they never did, and they should now, is to say, well, if that's not working, flip them over and blow up the butt. You still use a mouth shield. But
I feel like the
It's
state
hard-
of surprise would absolutely wake someone up.
But it's hard to do CPR when they're lying on their stomachs, but you can get oxygen into them by blowing up the butt.
Yeah.
I endorse. This is a little bit of science endorsement. As
You
far as I'm
know.
concerned.
I feel like that is a nice dystopia in the future, where it's like all ambulance people have to
Roll them over.
blow up the butt.
Roll them over.
and it's like who? Obviously, ambulance people suffer in this future.
Does this mean when the person under resuscitation, when they breathe out, it's like
I think so.
that's pretty much what it looks like from now on?
Well, at least they'd be administering enemas. It is a fluid perfluorocarbon.
Thank you,
oxygen
Alex.
solution. So they
Thank
don't
you,
have to
Alex.
breathe. They don't have to breathe into the butts.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So pragmatic Scandinavians, God bless our Scandinavian cousins. Reuse, restore, recycle. You're aware of these three, aspirational situations. Would you like that? Would you like that? So they're words to live by, and we want to save the world, so it's really good to get into those. And we do it with paper, we do it with plastic, we do it with glass, old furniture, electronics. We reduce, we reuse, we recycle, etc. Mm-hmm. So the Aalborg Zoo in Denmark is also on board with this.
Yes.
So they're particularly on board with, and I'm not sure, we'll talk about this later, reusing or recycling. It depends how we frame this. They put up a Facebook post that said, if you have a healthy animal that needs to be given away for various reasons, feel free to donate it to us.
Uh-huh.
Which I think is great, right?
Yeah.
So they said, hand them over. And what kind of zoo, though, is my question, wants rabbits, chickens, guinea pigs, etc.? No reference to dogs or cats.
Oh.
Because they're not monsters. Because who wants a dog or cat museum? Zoo. Horses may be of interest too. And they add, if you donate these animals to them, nothing goes to waste. Which I think is excellent. So what do they actually mean?
Yeah.
I feel like you have some suspicions. So the zoo, it seems, wants to mimic the natural food chain of animals housed there for the sake of both animal welfare and professional integrity.
And
AKA
feed visitor spectacle.
No, that has not come up
No, not stated.
so far. So they basically want to feed excess pets to zoos' predators.
Live?
No, they're not monsters.
Oh, no, I thought this was like a hunting scenario. I thought this was like watch a tiger take down a horse. Like it's going to happen sometime this afternoon.
Watch a tiger devour a rabbit alive.
Look, afternoon snack.
Well, that was quick.
I want a tiger to take down a horse. I'm sorry.
I'm not going to lie.
I'm sorry.
I'd watch that.
I would pay an extra $2 on my zoo ticket if
to
it
go
was...
there live, and that hand me some kind of, I don't know, Danish
I'm
cocktail.
like basically David Attenborough right here.
Give or take a few years and any integrity. So in the post on Facebook, I'm going to quote a few bits, but here's one. If you have, this is next to a picture of a yawning predatorial cat with huge fangs.
That's like one of them actual cats.
Yeah, but that isn't domestic.
Yeah.
If you have a healthy animal that has to leave here for various reasons, feel free to
Leave
donate
here.
it to us. I think here means this mortal coil.
I do love the idea that you would. Okay, so it's a dead animal and you flop a dead pet on there.
Nope.
No, so live.
Live.
So okay, it's a hunting scenario. Yeah.
Oh, no, yeah.
All right.
The animals are gently euthanized by trained staff and afterwards used as fodder. That way, nothing goes to waste, and we ensure natural behaviour, nutrition, and the well-being of our predators.
Sorry. Screw them. No, fuck this.
You're screwing them?
I'm off.
Are you out?
I'm with them on the idea that we should give zoo animals a more natural experience, but euthanizing on the plains of the Serengeti.
Look, another drunk guinea pig.
Does exactly a floppy guinea pig present themselves? I'm sorry, Danes.
I think it's breathing.
No, you're talking. You're just doing this for PR. This is fucked.
You monster. So this is actually quite resonant. You'd be surprised to know that there was a few, I don't know, social media concerns expressed. Couple of quotes. What a bunch of sociopaths a zoo should care for all animals.
No, I wasn't down that. I was the other side.
I'm not saying you are. I'm just saying this is what happened. Another quote, which I think is really quite articulate. Fuck the Aalborg Zoo. Oh. But my favourite. This is a public post to say, fuck the Aalborg Zoo in Denmark from here to eternity.
To eternity?
Yeah, they're not mucking around.
That's a lot of fuck.
It's a big, yeah, exactly. That's tiring.
To eternity. I mean,
look, I'm not against the intercourse. But forever until the end of time, I want to read a book occasionally, have a shower, old-fashioned. Anyway, they've asked the Danish public, this post goes on, to donate unwanted dogs, cats, rabbits, chickens, guinea pigs and other, quote, smaller pets to be eaten by the zoo's predators. They refer to the pets as fodder. So that person is angry. But then underneath this post is a clarifier added by, I assume, the zoo. Aalborg Zoo is requesting horses, chickens, rabbits and guinea pigs. They reject cats and dogs. So they're not monsters, obviously. Kitty, like Mittens and Fido out. These are animals that are going to be euthanized anyway, not, quote, unwanted pets. Fodder...
They'll just be euthanized through the teeth. That would be better.
Killed anyway, yeah. Fodder is a mistranslation of the Danish word fodder, which means food for animals. So calm your farm, social media poster. Calm down.
I don't see how that's a mistranslation.
One is, just like dismissive, and the other is that's fine.
It doesn't seem like a mistranslation. They're food for animals.
As partial Scandinavian myself, I think you should accept my word on that. It's different. It's different. So, co-director of the Clinic for Zoo Animals, Exotic Pets and Wildlife at the University of Zurich, a gentleman called Marcus Klaus, speaking to the Washington Post, he says, if you agree to the general principle that you have a carnivorous animal in a zoo, you succumb to the necessity that you have to feed them animal material. That's what he says.
Yep.
If you do this in a way that is not primarily directed at economics, but at animal welfare, you will strive to get animals that had high welfare ideally. So what he's saying is, look, they've got to get meat somehow, so what about this way? A fellow from Copenhagen Zoo, a guy called Stamos Tahas, you probably know him.
Mm-hmm,
I mean, we all follow him on our social medias. Nature can often be pretty grisly.
Yeah.
And in any case, the zoo insists that animals will be put down, quote, gently, not hunted and thrown to the literal wolves. This practice apparently is quite normal in Denmark, and the backlash comes from people who over-romanticize nature and the world, he said to the Washington Post. They're basically Disneyfying everything. So an example that was thrown out was 2014 Copenhagen Zoo.
Yep.
It was celebrated, or not, for euthanizing a healthy giraffe, allegedly to avoid inbreeding.
There's a strange solution to inbreeding.
You can cut its dick off.
Well, or just
block its
move
holes.
it.
Or
Move it.
Yeah.
Like suggest
Sterilise.
it doesn't fuck its sister. Like that's
What if you didn't do inbreed?
I feel like there are a few solutions before capital punishment.
See, you're not a very Danish thinker.
Yeah.
So apparently it was euthanized and then dissected in front of zoos and fed. Its carcass was fed to lions. Nothing to do with PR. It's just being reasonable.
No.
Being reasonable.
Go the whole hog.
So a point that was raised, which I kind of understand, I don't know if it's true though, for many animals who are in pain, etc., it's more humane to euthanize them. That's what we do with our animals. We know this with pets, etc. They're kind of like, well, they're fucked and it's going to be fucked forever. Let's take them out quietly now. The problem is, at least according to Washington Post, not everyone can afford to do that.
Okay.
And it does cost a lot.
Okay, so this is a solution for pet owners in a challenging situation.
Yeah, they're kind of like, and I get it. Like I've had to, and it's horrible, and it still haunts me even many years later.
And
I've
then
had
having
to do
a big
that
bill as well, like that's not great.
It costs a lot of money to kill your
make you
loved
sad.
pet. Yeah, it's horrible. It's absolutely horrible. So it's not I don't disagree with that argument in principle. So it's not great. So, but back to my original point: is this reuse or recycle? I mean, in terms of giving a shit about the world, the thing that really matters here is which kind of being environmentally conscious are we? What do you reckon? Is it reusing or is it recycling? It's definitely not restoring.
No, it's both. We're reusing the cells. We're reusing. I don't know.
So you're the monster.
I feel like this is like the giraffe. Like the tiger gets a little taste of giraffe. Like, how is this? I get the use of the.
Do you want a little taste?
No, I get a giraffe dies on your watch. I don't know about the euthanasia point.
Yeah, that's different. Yeah.
Your giraffe dies on your watch. It's dumber to bury it than chop it up and give it to the tiger.
100%.
Like that's totally fine. Like if you've got giraffes and tigers, that's what you do.
Yeah.
It's not really any benefit to the tiger. Like the tiger gets a lump of meat. Like
Yeah, if you're otherwise giving them something to do, what do they call it?
Pull down the walls.
So we've finished?
Yeah, we finished.
Which means what we need you to do, people listening at home or wherever you're listening, send us suggestions. Give us an 11-star review on every podcast platform, including ones that haven't been invented.
The one that your mother reads. That's
exactly. Your great grandmother. Also, if you want to send us suggestions, corrections, abuse, or love, what's the email address?
Cheers.
At
a little bit of science.
One word.
.com.au.
That's one word, not the .com, not the .au.
No, they're not words. They're
the concepts.
Acronyms.
And I don't know what to do about Twitch, but if you are one of the -3 people listening on Twitch, tell the other people you know.
Yeah, go on Twitch. No, it's great fun, but it's live. It's live.
No, you should, because we dress very well for this.